Why are they making these changes?
Because the science and their understanding of it continues to evolve. This is not the first time they've changed the protocols, and it's not going to be the last. The big changes that stand out from yesterday's document, the memo that went out to teams, are about sideline mask wearing. They want to really strongly encourage players to wear masks on the sidelines during games, and especially while they're interacting with each other on the field after games. The league has identified these as possible transmission points during games. They're not as concerned with teams transmitting it from one team to the other in terms of playing the game. They don't believe the amount of close contact you have during the playing of the game is as troublesome as spending a few minutes talking to somebody after the game. So they're extending the area, the bench area on the sidelines, so that players can distance from each other better during games, and they want them to wear masks, and they're going to continue to evaluate what their points of transmission are and what the risks are, and try and work around that the best they can.
So in our meeting this morning, Dominique brought up a really interesting question that I'm sure a lot of people who pay attention to the sport are wondering about. Go ahead, Nick. Dan Graziano has your answer.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just wondering how we could do something about the fact that players are testing positive, like the Marlon Humphreys one and Stephon Gilmore, the morning after playing a game. Like, to me, you can't have players on the field in that situation. I don't understand how the protocols don't update to accommodate for that externality.
Yeah, and look, they're testing them on the morning of the game, but they don't get the test result back until the next day. So the tests that came back positive Monday for Marlon Humphrey, for example, for A.J. Dillon, for example, were tests that were administered pregame. Now, obviously, if they get the test result back before the game or during the game, as the league said yesterday, they will remove that player or coach or staffer from the game immediately. But the key thing to understand is this was never about avoiding positive tests. It's about avoiding and limiting spread. So it's even more important than did he test positive. It's, okay, he tested positive. We got to get him isolated at home. We got to find out who he's been in close contact with. We got to get them isolated at home. We got to make sure this doesn't become an outbreak and put a lot of people in serious jeopardy. So until they can get to the point where you can get a reliable test result in 20 minutes, then you're going to be able to have guys test positive or test on game morning and only find out about it after the game.
And you brought up one very important point that I'm sure a lot of fans have in their minds, because we just saw this at the World Series with Justin Turner.
Yes.
They did say that if they got a result back during a game, what would they do?
They would remove the player or coach or staffer from the game immediately and begin the contact tracing process.
You got this from a conference call yesterday?
Yeah, Dr. Alan Sills, the league's chief medical officer, on a conference call with reporters yesterday, said that explicitly.
Yeah, so obviously, again, the teams and the leagues can learn from their own mistakes. They can learn from the mistakes of others. We saw a player come back on the field and celebrate with his teammates after a championship recently that created a lot of understandable consternation. So the National Football League sees that. If they do get a result, they might take a player out of the game while it is underway. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.